Good evening, everyone. What's up, party people? Hey, guys, send out any last-minute texts to the team. Make sure everybody knows that we have our team call every Monday night at 9 o'clock Central Time. And we'll be getting rolling here in just a minute. How is everyone doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Great.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Marvelous.
So hopefully we'll have a lot of participation from many different leaders tonight. So where we can get some value from a bunch of different people. Let me see. Do I have Nancy and Enrique on? I see we have the Bally crew. Bally.
Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, before we get started, I got a couple of housekeeping items to go through, and then we'll get started. Give it a couple of more minutes, and then we'll get started, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Who all do we have? Let me mute everyone. Hey guys, make it a habit as whenever we have any kind of team calls, team trainings, team calls, whenever you're jumping on a Zoom, to make it a habit to mute yourself in case we don't have the ability to go mute all, because sometimes from the cell phone it's hard to do. So if you guys can just be cognizant of that and handle that, it'd be incredible. We'll be getting started in just a minute. Hope everybody's having the kind of beautiful weather that we have right now. I think today was like 73 degrees. Absolutely gorgeous. As nice a day as you could possibly have.
It was like 68 in Minnesota, and we finally don't have any snow.
Uh-oh.
That's good.
I am on the Zoom. What are you doing, Princess? Yeah? Okay. All right, Ricky, 121 people. You want to go ahead and get started? It's still growing.
Yeah, I'm Chris.
What is that?
Can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
All right, perfect. We'll get started. Hey, guys, hope you guys are having a good night. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I just want to go over a couple of housekeeping items. I did post last week, I believe midweek, on the Team Rise page. If you're new to the team, welcome to the team. If you don't know what the Team Rise page is, please get with your sponsor and make sure that you're added to that page. That's our distributor page. That's where you're going to find all information about calls, trainings, etc. Okay. Also, last week I posted a post about who has a landing page. and there's probably about 200 and something comments, people saying, not me, not me. Guys, as you're onboarding people onto the team, let them know about these tools, guys, because it's really making our job a lot easier, and you'll make their job a lot easier. Also, as you're onboarding a new distributor into the team, be sure they're going to the Elapreneur page and hitting like, so they can keep up with what's going on at corporate. I don't know if you guys have seen that this week we rolled out the Elevations page. Guys, that's a recognition page for the company, for corporate, and diamonds and above are going to be recognized in that page. It's called Elevations, okay? And you can go to the search bar on Facebook and go to Elevations and go like that page also, so you guys stay connected. If you have any questions, please get with your sponsor or ask the questions in the chat here, and whenever I get off, I'll be able to answer that for you guys. Last thing is, we're headed to Canada. We're 2 weeks away from, doing our first event in Canada. We're super excited to go visit our fellow Canadians that have been going through a lot of challenges, but have stuck with us, and we really appreciate all the hard work that you guys are doing over there. We're just, I would say, weeks away from really, opening your country. So it's pretty exciting for you guys. I thank you all for sticking with us. I know it hasn't been easy, but hey, you guys are going to reap the reward from it. Also, we have our event in Houston, Texas, June 8th. So anybody near driving distance, I would highly recommend you get on a bus and bring 50 people with you, because it's going to be a life-changing event, and I'm pretty sure the Canadians are going to let you know all about it here in a couple of weeks. That's all I got. Thank you so much. I'll pass it back over to you, Chris.
Awesome. So, guys, with the Les Brown events, this is so special. It's not just hearing somebody speak. It's very interactive. I know we have a lot of leaders that have now been there, and this is not just a, go and listen to somebody speak. This is a very interactive, work on yourself, bring yourself to the next level type of an event. And I think everyone that has gone so far has been just like action-packed, full of value. So some incredible things. What we want to share, guys, is, we've been talking a lot about this, but it feels very reminiscent of when we got started a little bit over a year ago. What we're seeing happen, the amount of calls that we're doing, the amount of Zooms that are going on with new people, sharing it with new people that are sharing it with new people. And it's just been incredible. I know it's just been like call after call after call just with Enrique and Nancy's group. Just been crazy things going on, talking to different leaders and hearing what they are feeling and what they're seeing has been absolutely amazing. I know last night I was talking to Robin, and just to hear her excitement and knowing what we have coming. Guys, now is the time to go out there and push the gas in a big, big way. In the last year, we've seen so many people's lives changed, but we're just getting started. We are literally just getting started with this thing. So I'm going to basically, I guess, just call some people out. Enrique, I see you guys are out there. Can y'all jump on board real quick and just kind of share a little bit of what you've been experiencing and what you've been feeling on all the people that have been jumping on all these calls we've been doing? Are you in a position where you can talk real quick?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I know Nancy said that she was going to be running with kids and all that. But
Yes.
we'll just kind of share what's been going on, because I know that we've done at least 5 calls with you all today, and that's been like a daily thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, it's just starting to catch fire now. Nancy and I have been in, this is our 5th month, and we did a lot of the groundwork in the beginning to build our front line and our team. And now, it took a little time to get them up to speed and trained and doing everything. like you guys taught us. And now it's just starting to duplicate, levels deep, 2 levels, 3 levels, 4 levels. And this thing is really starting to expand very, very quickly now. So, I mean, it's starting to catch fire. And that's because of what you guys have created here with the leadership and the system, that we were able to do that and duplicate that with our team. And now it's just carrying on. And I've never seen any of my businesses grow like this. And I've been in this industry for 7 years now, and I've never seen anything catch fire like this, and people be so excited about not just the product, but the opportunity behind the products. And we get on these calls and they feel it right away. They feel the leadership is strong, the culture is strong, and that we really do have a winning system here. So a lot of these people aren't even trying the products before they join. They just trust in what we're telling them and what they've seen, right? They do their research behind the scenes and all that. But once they see who, all the leaders on the call, and that's why it's so important to be doing these connect calls, these Zoom calls, because you want them to see who you're working with and who you're partnering with, right? Sorry, had a call coming through. It's important for that third party edification to bring, those few levels of leadership there on the call, so they can meet everyone and see, okay, not only do I get so-and-so, but I get, Chris and Ricky, and I get these other leaders that are backing me up. So I don't just have to, depend on one person. And if they disappear on me, I have no leadership, right? So they want to make sure that we're strong all the way around. And when we get on those calls, everyone brings it, and they see, wow, okay, this is, as you guys say, the dream team, right? Like, we have all these leaders surrounding them, and a solid system. They can't lose. If they do the work, they know they're not going to lose here. So a lot of these people aren't even trying the product. They're just jumping in, based off of what they see and what they feel. So it's definitely an exciting time, for those who are trying to build a big business here. The time is now. Like, I wouldn't waste any seconds, any of those precious seconds, minutes, hours of your day, of your week, messing around with this, because this thing, Ricky and Chris keep saying, we're about a year away from the true momentum, where things just explode, right? So if you want to set yourself up properly for when that time comes in a year, you want to have a solid business with solid levels of leadership down in your downline. So when momentum does hit, you are very equipped to be able to handle all the growth that comes in. Because trust me, I mean, Nancy and I are having a little bit of time management struggles now, trying to manage the growth that we're having now, and we're not even in momentum. So I can only imagine in a year what this thing is going to do. So that's why it's so key to take advantage now and build strong now, so you can handle that momentum and that like crazy growth that's coming down the pipeline. So yeah, guys, we're trying to get these Zooms on all day long. These are how you get the people into the business, right? You have to have them understand the culture, the mission, what we're trying to accomplish here, and pass the ball to Chris, pass the ball to Ricky, pass the ball to your other leaders, your other people that are in position to be able to help you with all of that. So I'm excited. Nancy and I are definitely excited for what's to come. Looking forward to that Houston event in June with Les Brown, and everything else that's in the pipeline.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So guys, you hear us talk about this a lot, and it's different levels of leadership and all this stuff. In my years, it's now been 20 years in network marketing. It's amazing, watching different organizations grow and how they go. And it's funny how some people will get all tied up into the politics. They're looking for someone else to build their business, or, what is this or what is that and all that. And at the end of the day, it's really about creating an environment where people can become the best versions of themselves. So guys, we tell people that when they get started, we're going to do it for you. Then we're going to do it with you. And then you're going to be doing it by yourself. So guys, we're jumping on calls with new leaders just to be there for them. But the calls are being passed over, and then those leaders are running these calls. And, what we're about to see is really mind-blowing, because some of the leaders that we're now having come on board, we have some 7-figure earners that have just joined the team. And there are some people that are, have been sitting there like waiting for everything to be perfect. And there's never a perfect time. It's never going to be everything be perfect for you to go other than now. Now is the time for you to go out there and take action. I'm going to bring on a young lady that literally has gone out there and taken action, that has made some amazing things happen, that is built against all odds in a country that has not been totally open. They're having to pay more money for shipping and more money for all that stuff, but are still making things happen, and has, ran past, Diamond as a Canadian, basically in a full Canadian team. We have other leaders that are from Canada, but they have huge organizations in the US and all over the world. But this young lady is primarily built in the Canadian market and has been doing some amazing things. Her team is blowing up left and right. So, Sarah Weiss, you're out there.
I am. Can you hear me?
So, way to throw the ball at you. You have no idea I'm going to call on you, but I know you're doing some amazing things over there. I know I talked to some people with you last week that are just getting started as well. So tell us what's happening and what has you fired up in the Canadian market right now.
The support's a big thing. Every time we've leaned on you, you've been there. And not only does that help me, but it shows the team. It shows not only my team, but all teams, that when we need someone, something, support, backup, you're there. And for us to be able to, like you've already said, if you could play in the NBA, but only have to pass the ball to Michael Jordan, why wouldn't you play in the NBA? That's what we do. We just pass the ball to the winners, and the winners take the shots and they score every time. So we've definitely been exploding because we have that support, and we are gaining momentum, which is crazy to be able to say we're gaining momentum already in pre-launch here in Canada, where it's only open in 2 provinces and shipping is $65 Canadian. I can't imagine when this is easy. So support is everything. Keeping it simple. I can't express enough how important it is to just keep this simple. It's, we hand out samples like candy, and we just say, this is what it's doing for us. That's all. That's my training. When I train people, I say, get samples, hand them out, and tell people what it's doing for you. It's 3 steps, get on the product, tell people what it's doing for you, let them try it. Never done anything this simple. It's amazing. And on paydays, when I get messages from all of my team saying, my paycheck was much bigger than I thought it would be, it makes me feel pretty good. So, we've got a really good culture. We do our morning coffee talks. We actually just started that about a week ago. And every morning we get on. It's open to anybody on the team to come on and just chat, just to get to know one another, not necessarily to talk about business, but to just get closer to each other. We have a family. We love the family. And, this business is creating lifelong friendships and relationships that literally they're going to be around forever. Whether this company goes into the atmosphere or not, we will all be a family. And I couldn't be more blessed or grateful for everyone who's involved. I'm seeing so many people win. And, like you and Ricky say, it's not about us winning. It's about the team winning. It's about the cross lines winning, the sidelines, the down lines, the up lines. Everybody's winning. We're having a hard time here in Canada, and guess what? We're winning. So we definitely, all of us on our team here in Canada, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you guys all do. You and Ricky have been phenomenal leaders. The fire you bring to us on these calls, like when I started coming onto these calls, it was like, oh my gosh, what was I missing? Because I didn't come onto these for, you know, my first 3 months in the business. I came on, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get my team on here. This is fire. So I'm grateful to be speaking on this call because, you know, everybody I see in this company, this business, this team have so much value to bring. And to have the ability to bring my people onto this call to hear all the value that we all have it's amazing. It's mind blowing. So thank you all for everything. Everyone, sidelines, uplines, downlines. Thank you all. It's amazing. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah, for bringing value to the call tonight. So I want to call on another good friend of mine, Robin Grigsby, out there. Nobody has any idea I'm calling him on. I'm just calling everybody on.
Hey.
What's up, Robin? What's going on? I know you guys, she's, what would you call it, the OG of the coffee talk? Like, I know you guys started the whole morning happy coffee talk, and it's pretty cool that you have now all these other teams all throughout the whole organization that are now doing these happy coffee talks, because everything is about building culture and building those friendships. And I know you always have great value to add. Why don't you share, you know, what are you excited about? And share the importance of the welcome call and connecting. Because, guys, the happy coffee talk is a great time for people to get to know other people. But really the meat and potatoes and I'm going to go into this after, but the meat and potatoes of significance is showing people that you're really there for them and you care about them. And this young lady is just an absolute amazing, love on people leader. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Robin.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. And appreciate working with you guys. You and Ricky are awesome. Thank you for being amazing support to all of us. Yeah, you know, we were just talking, you know, Jeanette's actually here from Iowa. She's in our team, and she's visiting. She came out to the Bay Area, and she's spending a couple nights here with me, and we're getting to know each other a lot better. And, you know, the welcome calls are super important. I remember I was just telling her that when we first started here, it was like I never left my house. And we just did welcome call after welcome call after welcome call. And it was just, you know, a lot of time spent and invested into the team and wanting everybody to know that they're part of this community, they're part of this culture. It's important for your team to meet the personalities that they get an opportunity to work with. You work with them, they work with you. They feel like they get to know you better, they can call on you. You could start the relationship. And I have heard so many people say the welcome calls were such a big deal for them. Like, it really solidified that this was different than they've ever experienced, that they've never had felt so welcomed as they do here with our team. And, you know, we find out a lot about them. We find out their goals, we find out their why. And we find out, are we going to walk with them? Are we going to run with them? It's not about what we want. It's about what they want. How can we find how to best serve them and offer the best help and support? We take them through a few questions. We find out, you know, like, what are their dreams? You know, how big are their dreams? We get them to dream bigger in the welcome call. And I think that when they get off of that, they have a foundation. They kind of know, okay, I have some goals established. You know, we take them through, you know, building a dream board and getting their mindset right, you know. And so it's much bigger than what some might think, but I think that's foundational for building a team. And then from that, you know, with myself and our team, we started the Happy Coffee Talk. And it was something that I seen kind of magical happen. And with us, it was Melissa McGuire, myself, and two other business partners that we met every morning in the last company we were in. And we just noticed that it really helped us stay connected. It helped us keep our business in the forefront of our minds, because life gets busy and we can drift away really easy. And so when you have this kind of business where you have a choice to work it, sometimes you can find yourself not so disciplined, and you can drift a little bit because it's an easy business to be a part of, but it's also easy to drift away because things happen in life. So we have to treat it like a business if we want to get paid like a business. And how do we do that? Well, we got to keep some sort of consistency in doing this business. And that's kind of can be a challenge, is consistency. So what we found previously in the other company, like I said, when we were doing this, it was just something that was working for us. So when we started over here, Melissa and I, and then Jennifer Marsh, she started hopping on with us. And I just said, hey, Melissa, why don't we open this up to our top 2 or 3 people we're working with? And then I'll invite my top 2 or 3. You invite your top 2 or 3. And then Shar Garcia invited her top 2 and 3. And then Colt Summers invited his top 2 and 3. And, Pamela invited, Smith invited her top 2 and 3. And Jennifer invited her. I mean, that's how it happened. And next thing you know, we created the Happy Coffee Talk thread. And then there's about, anywhere from 18 to 25 of us that meet every morning from Monday to Friday. And we do it 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. Now, there are people who are on it every morning. And then there are people who can't be on it every morning, but hop on at least once or twice or 3 times in a week. And then there's people who drift away and come back. So, but what we have found is there is something magical in that, and it works because it keeps us super connected and it gets us in a place where we can collaborate. And what's important, it's not a place for one person to lead, and it's not a training platform, it's collaboration. And it's where all of us can start growing with each other and learning from each other. So we learn about our lives. We're like a big family in there. It's a positive atmosphere. It's a positive surroundings, encouragement. We learn, we read books, and then we share what books we read, what we learned from the books, and then we recruited and what happened and challenges and how to deal with it. Hey, this came up. And then everyone really does put in, they have input. And then really what I do, and if I'm not there, I'll ask Melissa and Shar to try to help out because they're consistent in there, is mainly I just try to make sure that if there's dead space, I try to call on the people that aren't really talking yet and get them to talk. Because the ones that are a little more shy, the ones that maybe aren't quite speaking up and taking the stage, I kind of just like, hey, so-and-so, Sarah, hey, Don, hey, I just call on different people and ask them a question and get them to engage. Because sometimes you'll find with different people, they just aren't the type to talk if someone else is talking. So you got to kind of call on them and pull them out of their shell a little bit. And then they start to talk more and add the value. And then so everybody's just learning to get better, being on Zoom, being seen. Some people hide their cameras, but we also tease them and we tell them, hey, if you're not talking, you're stalking. So if you're hiding behind a screen and you're just not even talking, you're stalking. We tease them, but it's just really created some great unity and some magic. And so I'm really honored to say that we've had Sideline reach out to us and saying, hey, what is it you guys are doing with this Happy Coffee Talk? So I've invited different people to come in and join us and just show up for the day or the morning and get, just kind of interact with us to see what it is we're doing. And I've helped, other people start Happy Coffee Talks. And I just got to say it's an honor. It's a compliment. It feels great when you know that other people are doing things that you had part in creating, and I love it. I love that other people are seeing a value in it and it's working for them, and it's just a beautiful thing to have happen. So it's really helping to create a better culture, a better community, tighter community in our culture. And we have something so amazing here anyway, with just our product is phenomenal. It works. and people are getting this amazing results. And then we just have an awesome team that loves everybody where they're at. And it's just been an incredible journey here in the last couple years. And I'm super, super excited for what's to come. I'm super excited for the wins that everybody are going to continue to have here. And it's going to be bigger wins than ever. And yeah, it's ineffable.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robin. So guys, we're going to close out the call with this. What Robin was talking about was culture, 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 right? And that's what we built this thing on. That's what we built this on, was basically loving on people. And I'm gonna talk about a couple of the things that Robin just shared, and I'm gonna talk about it from the place of how we started this whole mess and how we started to share the cause. Because see, people will do far more building into a cause. Like every big movement, everything out there, if you look at what Martin Luther King did out there was a cause, and people buy into the cause. And Robin shared a few of those things. One was loving people where they are. It's about making people feel significant. So there's 6 basic human needs. 1 is certainty. Number 2 is uncertainty. We're not going to talk about those. But what we're creating as a team is helping people feel significant, helping people feel important. And that's what the welcome call is designed to do, where you're finding out what that person's goals are, what their why is, their reason on why they would want to do this, and more importantly, how they're going to feel when that happens, and how their life is going to change by that happening. And guys, when you create that environment for them and you start, showing them that you care, basically it makes them recognize that they're important. Everybody in companies will say, oh yeah, we're going to be there for you, we're going to help you, and then basically it's throw a bunch of people up against the wall and see if they stick. But when you create that culture, people won't quit a family, but they will quit a business. So we're creating an environment where people know that they are important, that they matter, right? The next thing that we do is we show them and we talk about how they're contributing. Because guys, without all the stories, then without all the little stories, you don't have the bigger stories. And guys, as a team, part of our cause is creating a bunch of thousandaires. How many people can we impact and help them make an extra $1,000 a month? What would an extra $1,000 a month do for most families? How would that change their life? By creating a bunch of thousandaires, what changes? Because, and I've been talking a lot about this, every year they have the networking, how many people are, top income earners and all that other kind of stuff. And you watch, you'll have one person might be there for a year or two, and then it'll be a new person and a new person. And it's because you'll have these companies that'll have this big wave, and these people are making all this kind of money, and then boom, 2 years later, you don't even see their name on a list anywhere. Like, why does that happen? Because they're making a big deal about the big money, and they're not creating a middle class. They're not creating a whole bunch of people making a little bit. And if you don't have a whole bunch of people that are thousandaires, then it's a matter of time before those big checks go away. So guys, we've been very intentional about making sure that we're celebrating all the new victories, that we're making a big deal out of the most important rank, which is bronze, and helping people hit that first rank, because if you can lay a brick, you can build a city. So guys, we have to show people that we care about them and basically get to know them and help them achieve their goals, which is why the welcome call is so important, because it shows them that they are significant. The next human need, contribution. People need to feel like they're contributing. People need to feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. And guys, the more thousandaires we create, the more the big stories that we have. And without getting a large group of people to do a little bit, I mentioned this earlier on a call. John Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. It's about getting a big old group of people to do a little bit. And when you make a big deal about that and let people know that that one customer you got, a lot of times we sit there and beat ourselves up. I wish I would have done more. Well, guess what? It's that little bit that you do every month consistently, and then teaching other people to do a little bit consistently that creates the big picture. It's not about going out and getting 100 customers this month. It's about consistently customer, 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 and you make a difference and you matter. You are contributing to the bigger picture. Without a whole bunch of people doing those little things, there aren't any stories happening. We build from story to story to story. So significance is one, contribution is another, love and connection is another one of the basic human needs. Guys, these happy coffee talks, the welcome calls, again, are creating that love and connection where people are seeing that they are loved, that they are cared about, and that they are important to people. Love and connection is so important. And that's another thing that we're doing as a team is loving on people and letting them feel connected. And the last part is growth. Guys, growth, you're either growing or you're dying. You also heard Robin talk about how they're talking about the books that they're reading and the different things. Guys, we should always be sharpening our axe. We should always be working to become better. And we told everyone when they got started that we were going to be that fertile soil, that we were going to be that fertilizer, that we're just going to pour into people and love on people and inspire people and help them to recognize that anything that they want to do is possible. I remember when I set the goal of having another boat by March. And I remember thinking that how is that going to happen when my credit is shot and the boat that I want is going to be super expensive? Like, how is that even going to be possible? But I had to start dreaming and thinking bigger and start believing that it was possible. And guys, when you start believing in people, it's amazing what they'll start doing. I remember when Mark and Judy were believing in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. And through creating that environment to love on people and support them and believe in them that they can do more, they will go out there and do far more when they think that they're, when you pour into them and believe in them, they will go do far more than what they would have believed in themselves to go out and do otherwise. And I remember, Mark talking about how this is your time and this is, when you can go out there and win. And guys, to be able to do that and to be able to go out there and make things happen and manifest things that just almost didn't seem possible, expanded my vision to a whole nother level. So guys, when you look at you, when you look at yourself, this is your comfort zone right here. Every time you break through that comfort zone, your whole universe expands. Every time you break through and do a little bit more, and when you start to believe in people and they start to see I can do a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more, guys, it just totally expands our whole universe. And every single one of you all were destined for greatness. Y'all were designed to be incredible. But we've been conditioned for failure. We've been conditioned with limitations. We've been conditioned that this is all you can do. But guys, what I believe is that every single one of you all can do far more. Y'all can do far more than you ever believed that you can do. And by believing in people and helping them to recognize that they can do more, then as they start to get those stepping stones of hitting ranks and, help one person become a thousandaire, then another person, next thing you know, the checks become absolutely amazing. And, I actually shared Char's story earlier because I was on a welcome call with her last week. And just to know that now she's been able to accomplish in a month what she used to do in a year, working 3 jobs, is just mind-blowing. And if she can do it, you can do it. And if Colt can do it, you can do it. And if Francisco can do it, you can do it. If Gavin can do it, you can do it. If any of these leaders can do it, you can do it. It's possible. And it's possible, and you know that it's possible because someone else did it. Someone else did it before you. So what we're talking about isn't something that is theory or maybe it can happen. We have people that are doing it. And because people are doing it, it can be done. And because it can be done by one, it can be done by many. And every single one of us can take this year and make this our best year ever. Make this the best year that you've ever had, but you have to start thinking like that first. And how do we do that? We start off with the building block, and how many thousandaires can we create? How about we make a goal for this team that by the end of this year, we're going to break another 1,000 thousandaires. I think we could do it faster than that. I think we could do it a lot faster than that. How many people are you committed to help become a thousandaire over the next year? Imagine if every single one of us had a goal of 1,000, because I know I had that goal. Well, what if every single one of us had that goal? How many thousands of people can we affect by helping them make an extra $1,000 a month? Do you know that $500 would have kept half of all bankruptcies out of bankruptcy last year? So with that being said, guys, that's what I have for you. If anybody else has anything they want to add in closing, jump out and share. If not, we'll close the call. I'll unmute everybody, and everybody have an awesome night.
Well, that was
Good
nice.
It's right there behind the hospital.
I know. Oh my
I'm trying to
God.
think, where do I have that address?